Believe it or not, the spring 2025 anime season is right around the corner, and it's coming with 60 more anime titles, all wanting your precious time. We get our first ever all AI anime, and it's already looking like a trash fire, complete with the usual jank, like 6-finger hands. Chupacabra attacks. My hot classmate is actually a robot. What will anime think of next? Spike Spiegel assembles a team to combat Pfizer. We're getting 3 Mushoku Tensei spin-offs airing in the same season, each presenting a twist to the original story. First, the misadventures of Rudeus Greyrat the Shinubio, starring Eminence in Shadows Sid. We get Paul Greyrat reincarnated into another world with Sylphie, Edis, and Nanahoshi. And we continue our second core of live streaming dungeon diving with Rudeus' harem. This season is also giving us fighting crime with sliding kowtow quirk. Forget the flux capacitor, just use this girl's time-traveling pantsu. That's not a joke, by the way. She literally time jumps, putting on pantsu. This witch can create a lolly army. This Yandere elf is so thirsty for this boy, she chased him back to his original world. We're getting another losing childhood friend story, yay! A new series by the Rent-A-Girlfriend creator, Rent-A-Sister. We're getting a new key visual novel adaptation. Now, which one of these girls is dying or already dead? Really fast waifus. Okay, that was really bad, I'm sorry. Agretsuko, the Ojo-sama version. After rejecting Freya, Belle Cranell retires to become a minor. Non-Guilty Gear fans, meet your new waifu. God, I can't wait for the rage bait post about that. So this is what you get when you cross Maid Dragon and meet Konoichi? Do the Space Cat dance. And finally, don't toy with me, Miss Birugaru. Jokes aside, spring is looking absolutely insane with new series. I've combed through all the creators, the trailers, and everything that I can find, and my short list came down to almost 20 shows. But I persevered, all for your sake, and narrowed it down to my top 10 most anticipated new shows of the spring 2025 anime season. So let's just get into it. First things first, let's talk about the show that came completely out of left field for me, and that's Apocalypse Hotel. This is a show that when I was looking through all the shows, I ran upon the PV for this one, and it completely had me immersed. I'm like, holy crap, this looks like a film. Not like its production quality is like overly insane like a film, but it has that immersion. The music itself is absolutely beautiful and everything. The synopsis is the Earth where mankind has disappeared and civilization has collapsed. In a world of ruined towns and revived nature, one historic hotel remains. 0 customers currently staying. 0 customers plan to stay today. 0 homepage views yesterday. Goal not reached. This is a story that unfolds in a hotel where humanity has disappeared. This is being done by Cygames Picture. That's probably why it looks so freaking beautiful. But again, like I said before, just looking at the actual trailer itself, just the character themselves in the setting itself, just absolutely beautiful. It's one of those ones where like the moment that the trailer ended, I'm like, oh, that's right. It's just a trailer. It's that kind of good stuff. They do have the script and series composition writer is the one that did Ninja Kamui and the Gymnastic Samurai, as well as Zombieland Saga. So it is one of those series where I'm like, I'm kind of hoping that at least the writing's going to be really good. I mean, I love Zombieland Saga, but it's one of those ones where I'm like, okay, everything looks good, but at the same time, I wasn't a massive fan of Ninja Kamui or the Gymnastic Samurai. So hopefully the story can kind of, yes, go along with those breathtaking visuals and music and everything, and the design itself that's just phenomenal. But yeah, Apocalypse Hotel, definitely up there is probably my most anticipated and probably hopefully going to be the gem of the season. Moving on to, yes, the Cowboy Bebop show of the season. Yes, Lazarus, the one that I think probably most every single person is extremely excited for. And again, that's because, of course, Shinichiro Watanabe. He's actually working on it as the director and writer. Of course, he's known for doing Cowboy Bebop and Carol and Tuesday. He's an absolutely incredible writer. Every time he touches things that are sci-fi, it just absolutely works. But the synopsis is the year is 2052, an era of unprecedented space, and prosperity prevails across the globe. The reason for this? Mankind has been freed from sickness and pain. Nobel Prize-winning neuroscientist Dr. Skinner has developed a miracle cure-all drug with no apparent drawbacks called Hapuna. Hapuna soon becomes ubiquitous and essential. However, soon after Hapuna is officially introduced, Dr. Skinner vanishes. 3 years later, the world has moved on, but Dr. Skinner has returned, this time as a harbinger of doom. Skinner introduces that Hapuna has a short half-life. Everyone who has taken it will die approximately 3 years later. Death is coming for this sinful world, and coming soon. As a response to this threat, a special task force of 5 agents is gathered from across the world to save humanity from Skinner's plan. This group is called Lazarus. Can they find Skinner and develop a vaccine before time runs out? Question mark? Yeah, like I said before, this show, the PVs are looking absolutely incredible. Yes, it's not to the caliber, and I'm going to be like a little bit of a stickler here of like the golden age of anime. It's not to like the caliber of like great combat design and whatnot of something like Cowboy Bebop, but it's getting close. I mean, we literally have Gung Fu in the trailer. And yes, we've got some Gung Fu before from this creator. He just has a very creative mind, does some really incredible stuff, and love Cowboy Bebop and love Carol and Tuesday. It's being done by MAPPA, so of course it's going to visually look really, really good. But either way, I'm on board for the ride. Let's move on to some D-Gen stuff. Let's move on to time-traveling Pantsu. Yes. You all know what you came here for, and that is, yes, please put them on Takamine-san. This is a show, when I first heard was getting an adaptation, I looked into it for obviously research purposes, and I was like, this is the stupidest idea ever, and I'm on board. Takamine is a goddess of her high school, with perfect grades, athletic prowess, and unrivaled beauty. This student council president is the apple of everyone's eye, including Shirota, a below-average student with no friends or social prospects whatsoever. But he'll soon find out the secret behind Takamine's unbelievable success: her underwear. When she strips, she can undo any of her past actions. And now that Shirota knows, Takamine won't let him off that easy. This is being done by Leiden Films, a decent studio based on a manga. And yeah, it's just through and through absolutely absurd. Again, the idea here is that she puts them on and then suddenly time jumps back and she does it properly. And so nobody really realizes because suddenly she does something great. But at the same time, he's the only one that's actually noticing it. He's the only one that sees, like, wait, no, this happened before. And yeah, it turns into some really interesting stuff. Reading a little bit into the manga, it kind of turns into the teasing girl type of thing, where she's like super thirsty and kind of going all over him, but it's always that question mark, is she doing something like that? But again, at the same time, you're having the naughty stuff happening. So either way, it's an absurd idea, and I'm eagerly looking forward to actually checking it out. I think my only problem that I had with the manga is as I read further into it, I was hoping for some sort of twist to it, but it did kind of feel like it was getting a little bit repetitive of the concept there, but it was at least kind of building up the relationship. So that's kind of the plus side and the negative side of the series, but either way, I'm looking forward to it. Moving on to Witch Watch, another one that when I first seen the announcement trailer for this series, I was immediately on board for it. It looked way too goofy. Morihito Otogi, a high school student who comes from a lineage of ogres, enjoys a peaceful, ordinary life until his childhood friend Nico moves in with him. Nico is a witch in training and chooses Morihito to be her familiar, while Nico is thrilled to be reunited with her friend and crush. Morihito is tasked with the perilous duty to protect her from a foretold calamity. Between the unpredictable chaos caused by Nico's magic and awkwardness of sharing a home, their lives become a whirlwind of supernatural hijinks and threats. This one's being done by Biberi Animation Studio, based on a manga. One important thing to kind of note here, and is another thing that kind of added to my excitement for this series, is the fact that the creator created Astra Lost in Space and Sket Dance. Now, I don't remember Sket Dance, but specifically Astra Lost in Space, absolutely love that series. So at least gives me a sense that outside of the comedy and everything else, it should have some really solid writing overall. But yeah, just checking out the PV for this, it looks absolutely bonkers. As per usual, it's always kind of a difficulty in the comedy aspects if the comedy will work. So far, the clips that I'm seeing in the PVs looks like they're going to work for me, but we'll see. Comedies are always difficult to be excited for because when you actually see it in play, that's the difficulty. I mean, for me, the other season with my dear friend Nokotan, it was like the PVs looked absolutely hilarious, and it was funny for a long time, but it lost me. So we'll see, but it looks super cute. I think the main girl looks absolutely fun, and I cannot wait for it. Moving on to one that I'm trying desperately not to overhype myself on, but I cannot help it. Mobile Suit Gundam GQuuuuuX. This series, oh my gosh, there is so much building up on this one that I hope that it delivers. Amata Yuzuriha is a high school student living peacefully in a space colony floating in outer space when she meets a war refugee named Nyan. Amate is drawn into an illegal mobile suit dueling sport known as Clan Battle. Under the entry name Machu, she throws herself into a fierce battle day after day, piloting the GQuuuuuX. Then, an unidentified Gundam mobile suit, pursued by both the Space Force and the police, appear before her, along with its pilot, a boy named Shiunji. Now their world is about to enter a new era. Well, we'll see. I mean, the last time we had a show about Gundam that takes place in a colony where they have clan battles didn't turn out to be that good. It was good. I did enjoy Witch of Mercury. It was a good series. Just a little rough ending on there. But yeah, the excitement for GQuuuuuX obviously is around the studio and the people working on. We have Studio Kara along with Sunrise, of course, Studio Kara being the one that is, of course, that did the Evangelion series. And of course, with that, Hideaki Anno, who is literally the creator of Evangelion. So we literally have the Evangelion Gundam right here. Mobile Suit Gundam Evangelion version. Now, yes, I don't think they're borrowing too much from the Evangelion franchise to put in here, but you could definitely see, at least based on the PV that I've seen so far, it looks like it has his style. It has that feel of like atmosphere, the characters just doing their daily activities. It just, the shots themselves and the composition really does feel like Hideaki Anno, which, yes, I just absolutely love his work. Now, one thing that's kind of throwing some people off, but totally works for me, is the character designs. We have the character designer Take, who's done Katanagatari, and I absolutely love the work with Katanagatari, so it works for me. It's not going to work for everybody, but it works for me. But yes, so far everything from the PVs and everything looks absolutely beautiful, minus the actual shots that we have of the actual mechas doing something. There's some shots that work, but a lot of the like flinging the character around in the sky stuff, it wasn't too impressive to me. So I'm hoping when I get the finished product and see everything, it will just all click. But either way, I'm trying not to get too hyped for it, but I can't help but be super hyped for it. It's Mobile Suit Gundam, it's Evangelion, it's everything, but just a really weird title, the GQuuuuuuX. All right. We got to talk about Shiunji family. The Children of Shiunji Family. A series that I don't want to be hyped for. I really don't want to even touch, but I can't help but want to touch. The Children of Shiunji Family is Arata, has never had a girlfriend, but he has 5 sisters and a brother. One day, his father reveals that he and his siblings aren't related by blood. By the wise words of Yuki of Roshidere, it no longer matters. You might as well stop there. Nobody cares anymore. It's got to be related by blood. Now all bets are off, and Arata's future promises to be rather nerve-wracking. Now, being done by Dogokobo, the PV itself looks super great. Yes, it's a dude that is surrounded by a bunch of girls. They're all technically supposed to be his sisters. They're all super cute, but they're all thirsty for him. It's like, good. A good-looking, visually good-looking, incredible voice acting work done by Harem Show. I'm all aboard. Sign me up. I'm for this. I love all these girls. They look great. They have the archetypes and everything. Everything's working out by formula you get from harems. What could be the problem, Andrew? The problem is after I watched the PV and I'm like, I'm on board. I want this now. I then looked at who wrote it and I immediately said, nope, I don't want this anymore. Yes, the creator of Rent-A-Girlfriend. So we basically have, from the creator of Rent-A-Girlfriend, we have Rent-A-Sister. And I immediately was like, look, I don't know if I want to get on board with another one of his works. Now, the only thing that kind of is telling Andrew, hey, chill, Andrew, this could actually be good, is the fact that I will argue, as much as I hate Rent-A-Girlfriend, all of my problems with Rent-A-Girlfriends is around the main character. I think the main character is unbelievably unbearable. I hate him. I just can't stand him. The writing around his character is horrible. This guy looks okay so far. Just based on the PV, this guy looks okay so far. So I think with the fact that with Rent-A-Girlfriend, I love the female cast of that show. I love all those female characters in that show. I'm going to have probably that same love for these characters here. Just hopefully the character change with a different male character that hopefully is not wrote after the creator's own mind. Maybe wrote to be somebody else and not him. Maybe I'll actually enjoy it. Again, the PV looks great. Dogokobo's doing a fantastic job. I love Rent-A-Girlfriend's female character, so I'm going to love them here as well. So hopefully, with the different male character, this will be an incredible show. But we'll see. Moving on from there, though, moving on to the I see the train coming, but I'm not getting off the track show. The Summer Pockets is right around the corner. To help manage his recent deceased mother's effects, the protagonist Takahara travels to, oh my gosh, this name of this island, Torishirojima. Yeah. During his summer vacation, as he gets off the ferry boat, he spots a lone girl standing on a pier, a girl who simply gazes in the distance as her long hair flutters in the wind. He looks at the girl with utter bewilderment, but before he realizes it, she can no longer be found anywhere. Takahara finds himself starting to adjust to his life on the island, surrounded by nature far lusher than anything he has ever come across back in a city. Oh, the grass and nature. I thought I was going to be surrounded by a bunch of cute girls. Time seems to flow casually on this island, And as it does, memories of something nostalgic keep coming back to him. Memories of something he had long forgotten. Yes, the fact that you've been there before and all these cute girls are all your childhood friends and they're all doki doki for you, and probably one or two of them is dead, a ghost, or probably dying. Yes, it's based on a key visual arts novel. This is the Clannad studio. These are people love dead girls. One of these girls will be dead. One of these girls will be dying, and one of them might be a fox. Just disguised as a girl. Who knows? That's it's Jun Maida's writing. It's gonna have this stuff in it, and I cannot wait for it, and I'm gonna watch it, and I'm gonna be heartbroken, and I'm gonna tell myself, what am I doing this to myself? But either way, Summer Pockets, it looks great. It's still got the great, fantastic character designs that you typically have with them. The characters look really cute. The music's incredible. Everything is lining up to this being, Andrew, you shouldn't touch this, but you're going to touch it anyways, so I can't wait for it. Moving on to our Ghost in the Shell show. We have Ghost in the Shells coming back in your Forma. In 1992, a pandemic of viral encephalitis shook the world. The medical technology that saved humanity evolved into your Forma, an invasive information device implanted in the brain. That's 3 shows this season with some sort of bad thing that they get a cure for it that ends up screwing up society. What is... Is this stuff we've been cooking since the pandemic, and now every single writer wants to write stuff about how we have something bad and we do a cure and then it screws up everything? I just realized this commonality here. Anyways, it's implanted into the brain. In this world where every sight, sound, and even emotion is recorded, investigating major crimes means diving into collected data, a job reserved for special detectives called Electronic Investigator. Echika Haida, a prodigious electronic investigator, assigned at an astonishingly young age, stands isolated by her exceptional talent. Her newly assigned partner, Harold, a blonde, blue-eyed humanoid amicus. Together, this unrivaled duo will expose every hidden secret. So it kind of gives me that feeling of something like, yes, Ghost in the Shell mixed with, my gosh, Lazarus earlier. And then like throw in this aspect of, I don't know, like It Invaded, that type of series where it's like diving into the information. Oh, you get to see what happened. I don't know. Either way, Juno Studios working on it. That's kind of the only little pause I have there, which they're kind of mixed on their quality and whatnot, but still, this is something that's kind of been cooking over well. I think my big reservation that I have for the show is that apparently this takes place in like a later volume. So they're jumping in the middle of the story after, I guess, these two have met each other and joined forces. Whereas I guess before in the story, these two aren't actually working for each other. I'm hoping that it doesn't just jump into it and it's too confusing, that they'll kind of establish the world and get the information kind of give to us so that we're not feeling too lost jumping into it. But either way, it definitely looks interesting. I actually want a good Ghost in the Shell type of story. I mean, I love Ghost in the Shell a lot, so if I can get anything between Ghost in the Shell, I'll take it. Moving on to another hidden gem of the season that it kind of just dumped out of nowhere. It looks super freaking cute, and I just cannot wait for it. That is Uchijin Mumu. A cat-like alien from a distant galaxy, Mumu arrives on Earth. His goal is to learn about home appliance technology on Earth to recover the technology his species has lost. The protagonist, Sakurako, has a typical university life, but everything changes with Mumu's arrival. What begins as an unexpected cohabitation quickly turns into a whirlwind of chaotic events. The chemistry between Sakurako and Mumu leads to a super spectacular appliance-filled and cat comedy adventure. First things first, yes, this girl has got some body to her hair. This girl's got some floof going on with her hair, and I like it. I do really like the kind of unique design to the characters. But yeah, I'm kind of hesitant on this one because I could see this one being possibly very, very repetitive. But either way, it looks super cute so far. I really like the concept here of essentially the girl that's trying to live a normal life, and there's just this cat that just constantly is messing with every single appliance, breaking appliances, checking them out, and just absolutely driving her crazy. But it also gives a sense in there at times where it kind of feels like she's getting swept up into what he's doing. Like there's this one like later shot in the PV where literally the cat's just dancing by himself, and it almost looks like she's gonna critique it, but then she starts to dance with him. There's like this sense here of almost her like giving up at times, and I think the chemistry between the two of them could really turn out to be just absolutely hilarious. It just has a very unique style that I'm absolutely loving, and I'm just hoping that it actually delivers on the comedy itself. Moving on to my last one, yes, Moonrise, the show that feels like it's been like 10 years since it was announced. It's finally coming out. It's only been like 3 years, but still, it feels like this was announced a long time ago. But yes, Moonrise. In the not too distant future, humanity has established a loosely organized government with everything managed by an international AI network called Sapientia, I guess. People live peaceful lives by loyally obeying its rational decisions. However, Sapientia, it's gonna make me say this word, Sapientia Lunar Development Project which sends criminals and pollutants to the moon to maintain Earth's peace, creates disparity and poverty on the moon, sparking a catalyst for war. Jacob Jack Shadow gets caught up in the conflict after losing his family to a terrorist bombing by the moon's rebel army. Vowing revenge, Jack joins the Earth's army as a scout on the moon, only to discover the unexpected leader among the resistance forces. His wife? No, his wife? Probably like his friend or something. I don't know. Anyways, the reason why I originally was super excited for this when it was first announced was, of course, Toa Ubukata, who, of course, was the creator behind Marduk Scramble. I really like his writing, and I'm hoping that that'll kind of, happen with this as well. We also have Wit Studios working on it, so visually it's going to look incredible. The trailers so far look really, really great. There's a couple points where it's like CGI-y, but for the most part, it looks really, really good. And then we have, of course, Fullmetal Alchemist character designers working on it as well for the character designs. We also have the director behind Attack on Titan. Just everything's kind of lining up to be a pretty solid thing here. So hopefully it turns out good. I'm going to keep some hope there. It's been a while. I've been looking forward to this ever since it was announced, so we'll see. And that's it. For my honorable mentions, I have a ton of them, so I'm trying to go this really, really quickly. First things first, 2B Hero X. Yes, I've been seeing the PVs for this thing, and it looks absolutely incredible. Yes, it's Chinese technically. We have even the director behind Link Click, mostly Chinese studios here. It looks really, really incredible. I couldn't stomach the previous 2B Heroes and 2B Heroine just because the style and the character writing and whatnot, it didn't work for me. But my gosh, this just visually, just put aside if the story's going to be any good, and that's the biggest concern that I think a lot of people has. Visually, this looks incredible. Go watch the PVs for it. My gosh, just absolutely incredible. The only problem visually that I have is that it's changing visual designs like constantly, and that's probably why they have so many studios working on this. Like on one end, it looks like, I don't know, CGI, and then over here, it looks just fully 2D drawn, and then over here, it looks like a more kind of classic anime style to it. Like the visual style just keeps changing all over the place, and I don't know if it's because each episode is a different studio or if it's all encompassing, because I think it is because there's characters in different styles, like the same character in different styles. Either way, I'm going to watch it just for the visual spectacle of it. I don't know if the story's going to work out for it, but just visually alone, it looks absolutely incredible. And plus, Sawano Hiroyuki's doing music for it, so it's going to sound great too. So it looks incredible. We also have Yandere Elf. Yes, I am looking forward to it. My only pause for Yandere Elf is the fact that Elias is working on it. They did Plus Size Elf, so this is one of those ones where the PV is going to look good, and then I'm expecting that the rest of the show is going to look like garbage. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's a thirsty Yandere Elf that literally chases the boy back to his previous world, and then she's just thirsting for him all the time. Why wouldn't I want to watch that? It looks like absolute D-chin slop, and I'm going to eat up every single minute of it. Jokes aside about Paul being isekai to another world with Edis and Sylphie and Nanahoshi, I am looking forward to From Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman. The PV itself looks really solid. Visually, it looks really solid. The characters look great. The concept is pretty interesting as well. This idea of this guy that trained these girls, and then they get sent off to become adventurers, become extremely successful, and then they end up recruiting him to train knights. He's like, why? I'm not that great. It looks good, though. My only concern is that it's going to be too slow life for me, but we'll see. Yes, I am extremely excited for Hide Makina-san. I think the concept of this is absolutely hilarious. The idea of this guy has this girl in his school that's super popular, she's super hot, and then one day she shows up at his door and she turns out to be a sex robot. It looks absolutely hilarious. There's also this idea that I think he was like a mecha otaku, so he actually helps her fix her body. Like everything about this looks absolutely hilarious, but there's one big problem. Well, there's two big problems. One is that Blooms and Wolfsbane's working on it, which they're horrible. Like these are really low budget studios. The only thing they've really done is like Isekai Onsen, and that show looked like absolute butt. And I don't mean the good butt. I mean bad butt, like trash. The other problem is that this doesn't even have a trailer yet. This is supposed to come out next month, and we don't even have a trailer for it yet. I don't even have any screenshots up for you guys, unless it drops before I edit this. There's not even screenshots here. If you see screenshots here, then shocker. But if there's no screenshot here, then that's probably why it's not there yet. So I don't know. I want it because I checked out quite a bit of the manga, and it looks funny. It might get repetitive, but it looks funny. But damn, the studio and everybody. I am also looking forward to The Catcher in the Ballpark. It looks like it could be fun. I'm not a big fan of sports, or specifically baseball, so I'm assuming I'm probably going to not finish the show. I'll probably get bored at some point, but at least for the beard-toting Gyaru walking around giving out Byurus, I'm probably going to watch it for that. I don't know if I'll continue watching it, though. As much as I hate the childhood friends always losing, I'll check out Can a boy and a girl's friendship hold up? No, it can't. It looks like it could be really cute, but at the same time, I don't know if I can take another losing childhood friend story. It's basically the girl is his childhood friend, and they're always going to be friends, but then suddenly girl shows up, and then Doki Dokis happen. And I'm like, yeah, it's a long black-haired girl shows up. She's probably going to win him over. I'm also looking forward to a ninja and an assassin living together. That looks like a lot of fun. Being done by Shaft, it looks super goofy. It gives me a lot of that feelings of something like Maid Dragon, so hopefully that'll kind of come across in it. Yes, I'm going to watch the beginning after the end. My biggest concern with that show is that the production doesn't look like they're doing a very great job, which I feel super bad for the massive fans of the beginning after the end. Jokes aside about the idea of Mushoku Tensei and stuff like that, I don't really care. I do want to check it out just because I've heard a massive fandom for it, but at the same time, I'm going to put a pause on that hype because there's massive fandoms for a lot of things that don't turn out to be my cup of tea, but I am looking forward to it. Hopefully the studio does a good job of it. It doesn't look great so far, but we'll see. And yes, finally, I will be watching the trash fire that is Twins Hina Hima. As much as I am going to laugh at it, and it already looks bad, the PV already is showing that AI jank like crazy. I've spotted arms disappearing. I've spotted hairs fluttering up weirdly. Yes, 6 fingers are in that trailer. As much as this is going to be a trash fire, and I hope it fails for the sake of us not getting AI anime across the board, I will be watching it. And I will laugh at it, and I will make videos laughing at it. But yes, I will be watching that one. I'm anticipating it for the bad reasons. It's the most anticipated for the bad reasons. And that's it. That's all the shows. That's all the new shows that I'm anticipating. I am also super excited for the returners. Aharen-san second season, I am super excited for that. I absolutely love Aharen-san, and I'm happy to see it come back with a Gyaru that is now Toyama. That's an added bonus for me. I'm also excited for, I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level. That's definitely an exciting one to come back. Of course, Fire Force, I still need to finish like the last 3 episodes of season 2. I realized that the other day, I'm like, wait, I haven't finished Fire Force yet. For some reason, I dropped it like 3 episodes until the end of the 2nd season. So I got to watch those episodes, and I will be watching the 3rd season. Yes, I'll check out Go-Go Losing Ranger season 2. I'm very mixed on the 1st season, but I'll check out the 2nd season. Bye Bye Earth is the same situation there. I'm excited for the return of it, but at the same time, I'm mixed on how it's kind of portrayed, so I'll definitely be checking it out. And then we still have, my gosh, Apothecary Diaries is still continuing. It's gonna be a swamp season. My gosh, I am so afraid of spring. But anyhow, I hope I helped you guys decide which shows you want to check out for the coming season. As per usual, I'll be doing a podcast recording with my brother where we'll go through every single show of the season coming up. We'll give you a breakdown of the synopsis, who's working on it, have some screenshots up there for you to check out how visually it looks. If there's anybody behind the scenes that's working on the project that could obviously entice you to watch it, that kind of stuff. We'll be doing a full breakdown of everything coming this next week, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you find it informative. If you did, hit that like button down below. If you like this content, you want to support the channel more, it means a great deal to me if you support the channel. It's all in the description below. But with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, y'all take care.